Hey guys, welcome to this second part of the 5-part breakdown of the sun salutations. Be sure to follow me on Instagram so you can receive the rest of the parts. Hope you enjoy the class. Then from there, you bend forward into a dway position. As you bend forward, naturally the hips will want to go back. And I'm not going to go too much into this forward bend right now because actually you need to start to develop more heat so that the hamstring start to open up. And that's going to be the beauty of the next class when we flow. Okay? For now, I just want to focus on the positions a little bit without thinking about how deep you're going. Okay, so once you go to dway, you're going to then lift your head up, and I want you to think about pulling your hands back, and this is going to help you to extend your spine. Okay, so after the head's gone forward, you lift up. You can either keep if your arms are long enough or you're flexible enough, you keep the hands flat on the floor and just lift the head up. Or if you want to get a bit more movement, you would come to the fingertips like this. Okay, this is kind of a personal choice, or it can be a style specific thing, which I can talk about more later. From there, today we're just going to step to the high plank. Okay, and we set up a nice strong high plank. So pull the shoulders toward the hips into depression, push up between the shoulder blades, protraction, nice strong legs, pelvis not in anterior, you're going to bring it into neutral position. Or you could even tuck under a little bit, but not to the point where your knees bend. So you want to keep the counter movement is keeping the legs straight. Then from there, you're going to lower to your chaturanga. If you need to, you touch the knees so you can do a good chaturanga. Okay, so in your chaturanga, I want you to think about this. Okay, so if you come into a kneeling position with me, so if your hands are out in front like this, let's say that's your high plank. There's your high plank. Then you're going, so from depression and protraction, you're going to bring the hands into your chaturanga position. So either your hands are going to be low down near your lower ribs, so that'll stack your elbow over your wrist, or your hands will be a little bit higher toward the chest. Okay, so this is totally fine to do here as well, or you can do here. Okay, and the pelvis, I want you to think about, don't let your pelvis go into anterior tilt. You're going to stay in neutral or slightly tucked under. The chest, okay, so it depends. So you could do your push-up with a bit of protraction and flexion, this hollow body position we call it, very good for calisthenics and handstand practice. Or you could do it with more extension, and at the bottom of the position, pull your shoulder blades together so you stretch the chest, okay? And this can really help with your back bend preparation. Okay, so let's have a look at that position. So we come down, so you're either in a more hollow position or more extended position. And then we go into an upward dog. Actually, before we go into the upward dog, so we're going to break it down a little bit, just basics, because I've got tutorials, longer tutorials on each of these positions, which you need to check out as well. Okay, so we can pull the shoulders toward the hips, activate the posterior chain. And you want to keep this feeling as you place the hands. Keep that feeling. So really thinking about lifting the chest as you pull the shoulders down. With your legs, you're going to be in a neutral position. You could even maybe squeeze the thighs in towards each other. A little bit of internal rotation. Glutes, active or relaxed. Depends what feels best for you. Okay, so we pull the shoulders down. I like to almost slide the neck back first and then stretch the throat forward. Then bring the chin in, round the upper back, moving one vertebrae at a time into your high plank. Then you go to your downward dog. Okay, and again, I've got a whole tutorial breaking down downward dog in like very specifically. So we just go through the basics here. Okay, so if we come onto our knees like this, we can go through the 3 pelvis positions. So anterior, neutral, posterior. And then the rib cage, we can go through extension, the thoracic spine, I should be more specific there. Extension, flexion of the thoracic spine. And then the scapula, we have all the options of depression, protraction, elevation, retraction. Your arms, external rotation and internal rotation. Okay? And so what I recommend is to start always with external rotation and protraction of the scapula. Okay. So from there, let's go into more of a puppy type position. So knees under the hips, bring the hands out in front. You're going to take your head down toward the floor and pelvis anterior, neutral, posterior. Rib cage, rounding the upper back, flexion. Extending the upper back, extension. Scapula, protraction. Arms, external rotation. And then elevate, shoulders to the ears. Retract, shoulder blades together. And then depress, shoulder blades to the hips. And then lift your knees up. Okay, and we just go through the same thing. So pelvis, the 3 positions. Upper back, the 2 main positions. And then scapula, protraction, external rotation of the arms, and elevation, shoulders to the ears, retraction and depression. And then the legs. So we straighten the knees. And one thing to think about in your downward dog is also your feet. Okay, so I want to see the outer edges of your feet in line with the edges of your mat. You're going to spread your toes and really get that awareness of the feet. And then from there in the position, you can experiment with internal rotation, neutral, and external rotation. Okay? So you're coming into your downward dog. So really spread those toes, outer edges of the feet parallel, and then play with internal rotation, which will send the pubic bone back between the thighs more. External rotation and neutral, which will drop the tailbone down towards the heels. Remember to protract the shoulder blades and externally rotate the arms, and then elevate the shoulders towards the ears. And then you can walk back to the front of your mat. And then from there, we're going to once again lift the head and chest. You're going to pull your shoulders towards your hips. And then this time when you bend forward, I didn't mention this in the beginning, so as you go into what would be Dway position at the beginning, or what would be Ashto position at the end, you're going to bring your elbows in and attempt to slide them forward. Okay, so what I mean by that is, so after you've lifted your head up, you're going to fold forward and you're going to bring your elbows in like this, so externally rotate, and then attempt to press your hands forward like this. And then what that's going to do is going to help to bring your chest and your thighs closer together. And then as you stand up, take the arms up again, either out to the side, 45, or straight out in front. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the class. Be sure to follow me on Instagram and YouTube to receive the rest of the parts. And if you'd like to go deeper into your practice, then check the link in the description below to join my online membership, Ashtanga Decoded. Hope to see you there.